This is the plaintiff, Andre Richards. He says the defendant, his former friend, stole his gold iPhone 5 from him, hocked it, and he has the proof. He has since filed a criminal case against the loser and is suing him here and now for the $694 he's owed. This is the defendant, Lawrence Thompson. He says he told the plaintiff his phone was on the floor of his house, so he wouldn't forget it. Then the next day, the guy accuses him of stealing the thing. This is ludicrous. The plaintiff's gonna ruin their long-standing friendship by saying he stole something he most definitely did not. Oh well, easy come, easy go. He's accused of being a sticky-fingered friend.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Andre Richards, you are suing your former friend Lawrence Thompson for $694 of value of an iPhone 5S gold 16 gigabytes because, according to you, he stole it from you.
That is correct,
What
Your
happened?
Honor. On the day of January 11th, the defendant had called me prior in the morning, approximately around 10 a.m., and he had told me that he had a particular DJ gig for a Sweet 16. He needed some equipment to borrow or rent. So I told him, okay, I'll rent that equipment to him. And then that was the conversation we had on the phone. But then again, my phone had been suspended with AT&T. So approximately around 1 o'clock p.m., the defendant showed up to my residence, and we had a brief conversation of what needed to be rented for that Sweet 16. The defendant then left the residence and came back around 4:30.
Before he left, did he comment anything about your telephone?
No, he did not.
Okay, so he comes back at 4:30 and what?
He says to me, I was running late. My girlfriend was in the shower at the time, so I was trying to get the equipment taken care of. I was just coming out the shower. She was just getting in. So what I did was I let the defendant come upstairs inside the house. The iPhone and the iPad was sitting together on the floor. I then let the defendant in the residence. He came in, he sat down. The phone was in his vicinity. I then went to the closet, took out some clothes to bring it to my girlfriend to the bathroom. So the defendant was left within a period of 2 minutes with that phone in his vicinity. I came back out. I didn't have any, I didn't really need the phone, so I didn't start looking for it until later on I got home that night from the Sweet 16 with the defendant.
So you actually went with him to the Sweet 16?
That is correct. I rented the equipment to him, but I always make sure I go and make sure the equipment is taken care of if there's a event he's DJing.
How long have you two known each other?
Since 2009, Your Honor.
Okay.
I came back home.
Were you friends?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Would you socialize together?
Definitely, Your Honor.
Okay, go on.
So I came back home that night. We were searching, me and my girlfriend were searching through the house. We couldn't find the phone. I said, well.
Was anybody else in the house? Come on up. Was anybody else in the house during that time?
No, Your Honor.
Nobody?
No.
Okay, how long have you been dating your girlfriend?
For 3 years now, Your Honor.
Okay, go on.
So from that point on, I didn't make any assumptions. The Sunday comes now. The defendant shows up around like 1:30, and I mentioned to him, I was like, my phone is missing. I didn't accuse him.
Why does he show up at 1:30 on Sunday?
I do not know.
Okay.
He just comes to the residence, he rings the doorbell, I open the door to him, and I'm like, man, I can't find my phone. And he says to me, you can't find your phone. So he starts to look around, and I'm like, he actually mentions to my girlfriend, well, the phone was sitting on the floor with the iPad. So my girlfriend then says, well, I don't know who took the phone. It was only us in the house at the time. From that point on now, I didn't accuse him of anything until the next day. I was supposed to take her back to college in PA. We went to a trading post to sell her Kindle so we could get some money.
You went to
A trading post, a pawn shop.
Okay.
In Middlesex, New Jersey.
Okay.
My girlfriend was gonna sell her Kindle so we could get some cash to drive her back to school in PA. I walked in there, and because me and the defendant were good friends, we usually go there if we need
To
to.
this specific place?
Yes,
The two of you have been to that specific
That
place
is
before?
correct, Your Honor.
Okay.
So I went in there. I started speaking with the gentleman, the owner. And
This is now how many days after the Sweet 16?
The Sweet 16 took place the Saturday.
And this is the next day?
This is Monday.
The Monday, 2 days later.
Because
okay.
they were closed on Sunday. So
Okay.
Monday we went there.
Okay.
I briefly said, did anybody else by a chance call in about a 5S AT&T iPhone? He's like, yeah, received a call this morning. And
Well,
I said,
it's, okay, hold on a second. It's a specific one, the gold one.
it's either with AT&T or with a different carrier.
Right, but it's gold.
It's gold, 16 gig gold
16 gig gold.
iPhone.
And those are a
5S.
little bit hard to find, right?
These, when they first came out, they were.
Okay,
But
now it's not hard?
Now they're more on the market because they're not as high end. When they first came out, a lot of people.
How
wanted
long
to-
had you had that phone?
I bought the phone back in, I would say, December
Of?
2013.
Okay.
So I have had it for less than a month.
Okay, so go on.
So he's like, yeah, somebody called me this morning and said they wanted to sell an AT&T iPhone 5S Gold brand new. I said, really? I was like, okay, well, can I see your caller ID? I looked at the caller ID. Mr. Thompson's number is actually on the caller ID.
Really?
That's correct, Your Honor. So
What's going on?
I called because my friend Julius, my little brother, we both have an iPhone 5S Gold, 16 gigabyte, but we have T-Mobile, and he called in. He wanted to call and see if he can get his iPhone sold so we can get a new one because
Does he have an iPhone, a gold iPhone?
Well, Your Honor, his claim.
Yes or no?
He does have an iPhone.
He had one at the time?
But here's the situation with that. They recently just bought their iPhones. It was recently. So the fact that he could say
No, did he have a gold iPhone on the day of this phone call?
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Okay, so go on.
Yes. Now, when we bought our phones from T-Mobile in the Menlo Park store, the guy said we have an insurance on our iPhones where we can pay a simple fee of $75 and we'll get brand new ones shipped to our house.
Yeah, but that's if something happens to it, not if you hawk it at a pawn shop and then lie. And that, so is
Yeah,
that what
so
your plan
that's
was? Your
basically
plan was you were going to hawk it at a pawn shop and then lie?
Yeah, and get an extra couple dollars, but it's for his phone. He has the same phone as me.
You don't even have the moral compass to realize that that's not a good thing to say in court? Wow. Okay, go on.
Okay, so that night I had a DJ, a Sweet 16 gig. He's my sound man. I rent stuff from him for the last 4 or 5 years now. I called him. I told him what I needed. He said, okay, come to my house. I went to his house to go pick up everything. He was running late, so I was trying to rush him out of the door. I helped him bring the equipment that I did rent to the car.
None of this matters to me. Did you see the phone?
Yes, it was on the floor where he was laying
And according to you, you even commented to him, hey, dude, your phone is on the floor?
Yes. I
And what
tell
did
him
he
that.
say to you?
He didn't say anything.
Did he say to you, hey, dude, your phone is on
Actually,
the floor?
he didn't have a conversation with me. He was actually speaking with my girlfriend. When I came out the bathroom from rushing, he even brought up the conversation. Did you remember how a particular female has stole a girl's phone at a party? And he brought up the conversation. He's like, man, you could get, so because our phones were suspended with AT&T, we had different options. We could either go to the pawn shop and sell them and then go to either T-Mobile and get new phones. Or we could either unlock the devices from AT&T and go to T-Mobile. So we had options. But the fact that he brought up to us that you could get $350 from the trading post, it didn't really signal anything until I went to the trading post the Monday, and the guy is telling me, well, he didn't like the price I gave him. He told him because the phone is with these new iPhones now, they have an iCloud lock. If you do not have that password or the person's fingerprint, you can't get into it. It's rendered useless. So he told Mr. Thompson or whoever he spoke to on the phone that those phones cannot be used. So the price he has to
You
get.
don't think it's a little suspicious that you called the pawn shop the minute it opened?
Yes, I do know.
Yeah.
And also, I have the statement from the gentleman. From
And
the
it's
pawn
what's
shop.
interesting is that I never see anywhere in your answer to the complaint you saying I did call that pawn shop.
No.
How come you didn't mention that before?
Because that's not what was asked. She said what happened that day. This was not that day.
Okay.
I have the statement from the gentleman who owns the pawn shop who received the call from that
Yeah,
number.
he doesn't deny that he called the pawn shop.
Yeah.
You actually have a picture of his telephone number in the guy's phone. You
That
had
is
the presence
correct,
of
but the
mind
guy
to...
also actually specifies this is an AT&T iPhone. He called to inquire, but it wasn't a T-Mobile phone.
Let me see. Does that matter what service you have when you're trying to pawn a phone?
It does, Your Honor, because
it does not.
It does because the value with an AT&T iPhone, you could go to you could unlock it to any different carrier. With T-Mobile, you're limited to different carriers, so you would get a lot more for an AT&T iPhone.
As you said, iPhone 5S cannot be used after you use it. After the report is stolen or lost, the phone cannot be used at all whatsoever. So how
would you know that I reported it stolen or lost?
I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying that's what happens.
Whatever happened with the phone? He never came in and hawked the phone, right? So no one knows where the phone is?
Because the gentleman said the price he gave him, he
I got it. So the phone is, I mean, I got my suspicions where the phone is, but, you know, but you never got a phone back.
I never, from that point, I stopped speaking to the defendant. I didn't respond. I didn't call him. The only thing
wait, when you saw that it was his number calling, you didn't accuse him?
I definitely did. I definitely went to the police department and filed a police report.
No, I meant to his face, you didn't?
I didn't want to speak to him.
And in fact, there are criminal charges pending against you,
Yes.
right? What's going on with that?
He said he was going to drop them.
Why is he going to drop them? Why would you drop them? The guy's in your house, he steals your stuff?
What I said to the defendant was, because the outcome is really, I want my money back.
Yeah, I understand that, but don't you care that somebody goes in your house
Yes, I do.
that you trust and takes your stuff?
And that's why I
filed but why would you drop it?
I said I would petition the judge to drop it. I didn't say
why would you even do that? So you got to get him to come here?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
The outcome would have to be to get
the outcome was nothing. It doesn't matter to me, you know. That I'm going to do what I'm going to do, but it doesn't make any sense because either you believe in what is right or you don't believe in what is. Sometimes you got to take a stand on stuff.
You're absolutely right.
All right, guy's looking at your phone on the floor, ends up thinking about it, decides he wants to pocket your $350. I mean, that doesn't bother you?
It does, Your Honor. And that's why I stopped speaking to him.
I mean, you know, did you know anything about this scheme about him and his friend who were going to bilk the insurance on the $75 and hawk them and then say they lost them and then claim new phones? And did you know anything about that?
Your Honor, it doesn't make any sense to me, so I never thought about it. Because
no, did you know about it?
No, I did not. This is the first time I'm hearing about this because if you get a brand new iPhone, why would you go try to pawn it a couple days later?
I had to make double the money if you got the insurance on it. You know, because you're a thief.
Well, then again, if you're going to steal somebody's phone, you're trying to get some money.
Of course, if you're a thief, then maybe you're a thief.
Yeah, but you know somebody for 4 or 5 years. Why haven't I stolen anything before prior to this?
Who do you think stole it? If not you, then who?
He probably had it with him that night, and maybe he lost it. That's what I'm thinking.
No, because he didn't. He didn't look
because
for it.
If he drove all the way to the party, how could you not realize that you're? You know what I'm saying?
His phone was suspended. What would he need? He wouldn't bring it to the party.
He brings it with him everywhere else, and he brings his iPad as well. He also had his iPad also.
You know when you lose your phone, and you know when someone you think is a friend took your phone.
Yes, I know.
And this man has not only gone to the place and then investigated and then took a picture and then saw your phone number on there, which is kind of suspicious. But then oh, by the way, you have your phone record so that I can see that you actually have insurance?
No, I don't have the record on me. But I have my phone with me. iPhone 5S Gold.
See, you know, because the police have charged you. You now know that he has a picture and got the evidence that you called that day.
Yes,
Yet when you answer this complaint, you do not mention having placed a call to the place.
Because I was not asked.
The following day, I go to the plaintiff's house to bring back his speakers. The plaintiff tells me his phone is missing. I reminded him I had seen it on the floor the day before. So you talk about more than one day. What proof do you have of what the phone costs?
My goodness.
Your Honor, I do not have the receipt directly in front of me.
Well, I need proof. You're in the middle of a lawsuit. You want to collect a certain amount, and part of that is proving up that your item is worth that.
Okay.
Why was your AT&T service suspended? Non-payment?
It was not non-payment, Your Honor.
And when did you buy this phone?
How
many months prior to that?
Well, I upgraded my old phone. So
right. How many months prior to that?
It was back in December I bought the phone, Your Honor.
I don't know what that is. How many months prior to losing it, prior to your phone getting suspended, did you upgrade your phone? In other words, how many months did you use that phone before?
Less than a month, Your Honor.
Okay. Maybe if you can't pay your phone bill, you shouldn't be upgrading your phone. Did that occur to you?
That's true.
Okay. Court's in recess.
All rise. Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Okay, so guy calls up, exact same phone that the plaintiff lost. A caller ID shows up with the defendant's number. Is that enough proof that the plaintiff should win?
Of course it is. It's the same number. It's the same thing. Obviously, this guy tried to get over.
You buying that?
Not me. I need to have proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
No. It's not a criminal case. It's a civil case. All you have to do is tip the scales a little bit. Did he tip?
I still want to know more, like where his fingerprints
Really?
on the phone. Oh, yeah.
The fingerprints. Who? You mean the plaintiff's fingerprints? Oh God, you're unreasonable.
I kind of agree with him on that one.
Really?
No, I meant the defendant's fingerprints.
Well, the defendant's fingerprints are on the phone because the defendant was calling on the phone.
Well, I'd want to see that proof. If the fingerprints were there and it was the phone number, then you got enough
He's
proof.
just arguing with me. Going inside the courtroom.
Now, you have a contract, and the question is, how can you make yourself whole? How can you get the phone you already had, the 16 gigabyte gold phone? So what I did, because you're an AT&T customer, is I called AT&T and said I lost my phone, and I wanted to know how it is that I can get the following phone. She said, are you entitled to an upgrade? I said, no, I'm not. She said, then you pay $250 to cancel your old contract, and $199 you start a new contract. Your contract was only 1 month in when they suspended it, so that's how it's going to work. That would be a total of $449. Now let me tell you something, because I believe with every fiber of my being that you stole that phone. You have a criminal case that's coming up, okay? Understand that in a criminal case, the burden of proof is beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In a civil case, which is what this is, it's by a preponderance of the evidence. Do I find it more likely than not that, in fact, you took it? And I think you took it. And do you know why I think you took it? You not only had the opportunity, okay, but when you had the opportunity to tell us what happened, you don't say anything about the fact that you called them the next day. The only time that comes out is when you find out that he has a photograph of your phone number on the thing, and I find it incredibly suspicious, as do you, because you agree it looks suspicious, that Monday morning you are calling to hawk a phone. And then your answer to that is, oh, I was going to hawk my own phone, Judge, and then steal money from the phone company. And you don't think that's going to make me think you're a thief. That alone makes me think you're a thief.
Okay.
So if you're confessing to me that you were going to be a thief, how do you figure that your defense is going to be successful here today?
Okay.
My verdict is for the plaintiff in the amount of $449. Show some backbone and don't drop the charges.
And after hearing those words as the defendant out in the hallway here, what's your reaction to those words from the judge?
She did what she had to do. He won. Oh, well. Mm-hmm. Case closed.
Everything just points at you, you know?
I know.
And there you're standing right in the middle of the bullseye.
Exactly. So.
Right? So how can everything be pointing at you and you standing there saying it wasn't me?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so right down around the corner this way. Did he just say he took it, or did you hear him just now?
It sounded like a confession to me.
Not exactly, but he's not exactly denying it either.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. You satisfied how this comes out?
Pretty much, yeah.
Were you disappointed from a friendship standpoint?
Very, very.
Explain.
Well, when you trust somebody for so long, you know, you let them in your residence, and then this happened, you learn from it, but it is what it is.
Who else could it have been?
I don't know. I don't believe in ghosts, so.
All right, Harvey.
Okay, Kurt, well, as this gentleman said, in a criminal case, it's beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much higher standard, which means that in a criminal case, what happened today in the People's Court, that case cannot be used to convict him in the criminal because this is a much lower standard of proof. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on their way into the courtroom right now.